Yes, boys. So, today's video, I'm going to be speaking about how important it is if you are a Muslim man in your 20s and 30s to learn a high income skill. Right now, you're probably working a job where you work anywhere between 40 to 60 hours a week, and you've probably been doing that for many years. And you're stuck feeling like you're not getting paid enough. You don't have time freedom, location freedom. You don't get to do things. You don't get to live the life you want to really live. You're stuck in the UK, you're stuck in the West, you're stuck somewhere you don't want to be. I was in the same place literally a year ago today. I was stuck doing something I didn't like. I didn't want to be doing it anymore. But I couldn't do anything about it because the skills that I had learned up until that point were low income skills. What do I mean by a high income skill? A high income skill is something which you have learnt, which allows somebody else to make a lot more money. That is what is meant by a high income skill. If you can make somebody else a lot more money, they will pay you a lot of money to be able to make them more money, right? Just to throw some examples off the top of my head, sales, that's the one that I chose. Marketing, that's another one. Consulting, copywriting, all of these kind of things. These are all examples of high income skills. Before this, I used to be like a network engineer. I used to work in IT. I'd fix problems, but I wasn't directly responsible for making a company a lot of money. I was in there somewhere, right? I would make sure the network stays up, but I wasn't directly responsible for generating a load of revenue for a company, which is why my paycheck reflected that. I was earning an average UK salary. I went to uni for 3 years. I studied computer science. I got a job, worked for 6-7 years. And do you know how much I was making at the end of it? I was making 35k a year. That's what I was making. After taxes, you're left with nothing. Then I got into sales. I got into high ticket sales. I invested in a program. I learned the skills. And literally within 6 months, I already replaced my income. And a few months later down the line, I was making way more than I was in my job. Why? I did that because I learned skills which made other people a lot more money. And I was directly making them more money. Now, the skill I chose, like I mentioned, was high ticket sales, or sales in general. High ticket is sales at the end of the day. Yes, it differs a little bit, but high ticket sales is the vehicle that I chose because I am now directly responsible. I am now directly in between a company owner and their customers. I dictate how much money they make. If they make a lot of money, they're willing to pay me a lot of money because I'm purely on commission basis, right? Now, I'm saying all of this, and it doesn't mean that it's all sunshine and rainbows, right? If you're going to choose a high income skill to go down, you're probably not going to have some kind of guaranteed salary at the end of the month, okay? You're probably not going to have or you're probably going to have fluctuations in how much you earn and what kind of clients you want to work with. But if you truly want financial freedom, if you actually want time and location freedom, you're going to have to let go of comfort. Comfort is your enemy. Comfort is the thing that's holding you back. A salary is it's a chain holding you to where you are right now and not allowing you to ever achieve what you want to achieve. Most people, most Muslims, most young Muslims have been told by other people, by societies, by families, or they believe it themselves, which is that to earn a good living, to have a good career, you need a degree and you need a good paying job. Yeah, maybe 50, 60, 70 years ago, that was going to land you a good job and it was going to keep you in a position where you could look after your family, you could have a nice cushy life. Not in 2026. Most people who get degrees, most people can't find jobs. And if you do find a job, what then? You're making an average UK salary. Let's say you're not even making an average UK salary. Let's say you're making top 10% salaries. Let's say you're making 100 grand a year. Let's say you're making probably 100 grand a year is probably less than top 10%. Let's say you're making like 80k a year. What is that after taxes? Like realistically, that's probably anywhere between £4,000 to £5,000, which is good, right? But to make 80k a year, realistically, you probably have to spend all of these years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years at university, 6, 7, 8 years in either one role or job hopping, and then you can get a salary like that. And then you're making like 4 or 5k a month. In a vehicle like sales, I know people who have been in high ticket sales for a year and they're now making 20, 30k a month. And for some people that are watching this right now, I know how you feel. You're thinking 20, 30k a month, that sounds stupid. Like that doesn't even exist. And that is exactly how I felt a year ago today. But now I rub shoulders with these guys and I see them making this kind of money. I work with some people making that kind of money. Now, to be frank, I'm not making that kind of money right now. But I'm in a vehicle that allows me to do that directly. And with a bit more effort and locking in, within 6 months to a year, inshallah ta'ala, by Allah Azza wa Jal's will, I will be making that kind of money. Like it's not even weird to me anymore, because I've just seen it. I'm around people who make that kind of money. It's not weird, it's just normal. So if there's one lesson you're going to learn from this video, and I'm out in the dark right now, walking God knows where, at 11:20 p.m. recording this video because I genuinely feel like it's important. If you are a young Muslim man in your 20s, in your 30s, you need to learn a high income skill. Like, if there's one thing that you do, learn a high income skill, because it will change your life. I'm now 28. If I would have learned this skill when I was 21, I would have been a lot further in life. Alhamdulillah, I'm happy for everything, and I'm happy that I've even taken the step. But everything that you want in life, generally speaking, is on the other side of learning a skill, which a lot of people are willing to pay a lot of money for. And this is not even just about money, because money is just a tool. At the end of the day, money is a tool. Making 20, 30k a month, what would that do for you? That's what matters. Is it going to allow you to get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal? Will you be able to live in a Muslim country? Will you be able to take care of your family, pay off your debts, pay your bills, take your family, your parents to Hajj and Umrah? If you're able to do all of those things, and you know there's a vehicle that exists out there where you can actually do those things, but you sit there because you're comfortable in your job, how will you answer? How will you answer for that? Like, really, really, truly, take a moment to think about that. There are people who are less skilled than you, they are less intelligent than you, they have less resources than you, but they are willing to do what it takes to put themselves in the best possible position, which is why they're making more money than you. They're able to take more care of their family better than you. They're able to worship Allah Azza wa Jal better than you. They don't have to answer to a non-Muslim boss like you do. Why? Because they just act. So if there's one thing that you need to do right now, ikhwah, learn a high income skill. I chose sales. It doesn't have to be sales for you. You can choose any other skill. I can speak a lot about sales because that's the vehicle that I'm in. Start now. Most people think you need some kind of university degree and a stable career path. That is not the only way. And not only is it not the only way, right now, most people go down that route and they're not making the money they want to be making. They don't have the freedom they want. It's because they're not in, they have a low income skill. Choose a vehicle, which a lot of people which people will pay you a lot of money for. Sales is the vehicle that I chose. It completely changed everything for me. And alhamdulillah, I am so grateful that after I wasted a lot of time, 6-7 years working. I used to travel so much for my job. I was working so many hours. And in that whole time, I genuinely, all I made, like I think I started at like a 21k salary, right? Like 6-7 years ago. And in 6-7 years, at the end of it, I was making 35k a year. And now, because I'm in the world of sales, within 1 year, you can go from making 0 to 15, 20, 25, 30k a month. And that's not even, it's not even something that I find weird anymore. Some of you are probably watching this and thinking, it doesn't even sound real, it's probably some scam. Trust me, I felt the same thing. I know exactly how you feel. But the more you learn about the space and the more you actually rub shoulders with guys who are doing that kind of money, it just becomes so normal that it's not even weird. And now you get connected with guys who are making 200, 300k a month. And it's like, these guys are just normal. They have the same ability as you and I do. You right now are probably making an average UK salary. You are working a lot of hours. You actually have some skills. But the skills that you've chosen up until today, they are not high income skills. So the difference between high income and low income skills is not actually how difficult it is. Because there's a lot of difficult jobs out there that are very low income. So low income skills, high income skills, the only difference is how much you're actually going to get paid. That's the difference. It's not difference in difficulty. A low income skill can actually be a really hard thing to do. It can be a really hard thing to learn. So it's all about the vehicle that you choose. If you choose the wrong vehicle, you can spend your whole life working away just as many hours, doing something just as hard as a high income skill, but you're just going to get paid way less for it. The smart people are those who choose the right vehicles. Choose the right vehicle. Don't waste your life in a vehicle that will never give you the freedom that you want. Choose the right vehicles. Look at what high income skills are out there. I chose sales. It's something that I back fully because I think sales will never die. Every business will always need sales. Sales will always be there. It's something that has always existed and it's something that will always exist. Sales changed my life through Allah's tawfiq. And it's something that, if there's one message that I can just scream in a loudspeaker to all the young Muslims out there right now, young Muslim men, for the sake of your families, for the sake of living a better life, for the sake of getting closer to Allah, learn a high income skill. Start right now. For the next 6 months, dedicate yourself to learning one skill. It can be sales. Just commit yourself to learning that one skill. If you're starting off brand new, join free communities and join if you have, say, no money to invest in yourself, join some free communities on sales. There's plenty of them out there. Okay, connect with other people who are in this space. I'm more than happy to answer messages and stuff like that. Just drop me a message. I'll be able to guide you in the right direction, or even just speak to other people that you know who are in the space and join some communities. If you're in a position where you can invest in a program, go ahead, invest in a program. The people that you will meet in that program, you are literally one connection away from changing your life. That is how I landed my first offer. Right? I was in a program. I'm my sales coach, amazing guy. He set me up. He hooked me up. I got on an offer. That was a dead offer. And then I got on a second offer through him as well. Changed my life. Alhamdulillah. Right? I'm strolling in the woods at 11:30 p.m. on a Thursday because I can. I don't have to work and go to a 9 to 5 that I hate. Changed my life. And the skills that I learn are so useful to many businesses out there that they're willing to pay me a lot of money when I execute that skill in their business. And right now, alhamdulillah, like I've just come back from because I work with Muslims. I've just come back from a company retreat where I did Umrah with the guys, right? And I have complete location freedom. I can be anywhere in the world and make money online and make more money than I have the ability to be able to make more money than most people will ever make, because of the vehicle that I have chosen. And trust me, this took me ages to learn. I don't want you guys to make this mistake that I did. Right now you think because you have a degree that you have some kind of status. No, you don't. You're a bum. Like, I'm just gonna be real. A degree, a piece of paper doesn't mean anything. To a lot of our families from back home, and just culturally, it means a lot. You know, if you're a doctor, if you're an engineer, if you have a degree, that means, you know, you've got yourself, you're someone, you're something, you can provide for your family. It meant that 50, 60 years ago. Right now, it doesn't hold as much weight. Right now, the world moves differently. You need to get ahead of the curve and really think about what vehicle is gonna make you the most money. Most likely, it's not gonna be working for somebody else. Most likely, the way that I went down that route was picking a high income skill, committing to that for the next 6 months, giving it your everything. What do you have to lose, right? You gave 3 years to a degree. You probably did some apprenticeship, or you may have worked for a job for a few years. You did that for years and it did nothing for you. What is 6 months? Give 6 months to one high income skill and your whole life can change through Allah's tawfiq. Put your trust in Allah, renew your intentions. Make sure that while you're doing this, you're doing it for the sake of Allah, for your families, for the ummah. Commit yourself to one skill and you'll see how your life will change. That's it. If there's one thing that I can scream to the Muslims, young Muslim men of the world, learn a high income skill, dedicate yourself to it for 6 months, and just watch how Allah will change your life. That's it. Bismillah.